10 Billionaires Private Island Hideaways. Discover the hidden world of Billionaires Private Islands, where paradise comes with a hefty price tag and no luxury is spared. These Billionaires Hideaways will leave you in shock and awe. Welcome to Playlux Media. Bracu Island. Bracu has to be one of the most controversial and mysterious islands in this list. This island has been an eyesore for years now, and not a lot of people thought about buying it. First off, it was really small, and it also gave off some solid haunted and gothic vibes, so no one wanted to buy it. But then came along the Barclay twins. They were billionaires, owning huge companies like Telegraph newspaper and the Ritz Hotel. It was one of the most renowned hotels in London, so there's no second opinion that these guys had a lot of money. But everyone criticised their decision when they bought Bracu Island for only around $3 million. But the twins knew that this investment was going to be epic for them, so they got a whole castle made on the island, which was highly inspired by gothic elements. It was more like they were trying to create their own parallel universe with a really dark storyline. Once the castle was done, the brothers got a pub, chapel, pond, helipads, and even a vineyard made on the island. It was the perfect getaway for them. But the main reason why they invested in it was that the island provided them with the kind of privacy that was never possible before. Even to this day, there are hardly any pictures of the island. People who are staying at other hotels of the Barclay brothers could visit this island for free, but they can't capture photos at all. So you would probably have to pay thousands of dollars just to get an imaginary snapshot of this place. It doesn't sound half bad, considering how this island costs millions of dollars in this day and age. However, reports are that the Barclay family would probably sell this island pretty soon, as they're having a really hard time making ends meet. The sudden death of one of the brothers and the controversial divorce of the other made headlines, and now the family is hanging on to a very thin string for any money they could get. They've even sold their infamous hotel, so it seems like this private island is probably going to be next on the list. Laucala Island. Laucala is one of the most exclusive places in the Maldives. It's owned by Yuri Smejcik, a Russian businessman who made most of his fortune after selling his TV channel to Ronald Lauder from Estee Lauder. His channel was Russia's biggest TV channel, but now he's gotten into different ventures and his net worth is in billions. He bought this island in 2014 and it cost him about $200 million, but he also spent a lot of money on making this small island the perfect vacation getaway. There are about 42 ultra-luxury villas in the island, and all of them are designed by Peter Kolar, the world's renowned architect. Yuri felt like there weren't a lot of high-end resorts that were offering world-class services, so he introduced everything from spas to a private butler for every single person. Yuri Smejcik has given a whole new definition to luxury with his private island, costing more than $2,200 a night. This is one of the most famous islands in the Maldives, and you would be shocked to know that people actually pay this unbelievable amount to stay at Laucala Island. Samson Cay. While a lot of billionaires buy private islands and rent them out to earn millions every month, John Malone has taken a very different approach. Samson Cay is a majestic island in the Bahamas, and it's loaded with all sorts of luxuries for its visitors. However, when John Malone bought this island, he didn't want to profit off of it. He already is one of the richest people in the USA, so what he needed was a lot of privacy and a place where he could just hang out like a regular human being. So, when he bought this island, he immediately closed it off to the public. Since then, he has renovated it and made the island suitable for his own needs. This island was a very popular docking point for yachts, but Malone banned all yachts from this place too, and now it has become his safe haven. John Malone visits this place at least once a year with his family, and these visits help him stay on top of his game. Tetiaroa Island. Tetiaroa Island in French Polynesia is owned by the Hollywood diva Marlon Brando. He came across this island back in the 1960s when he was filming a movie. He instantly fell in love with the place, and in 1967 he finally bought the island. Brando had huge plans for Tetiaroa, so he remodeled it completely just the way he wanted. Brando took help from environmentalists and made this island a truly sustainable community. Although Brando passed away in 2004, his island became a symbol of luxury, and his real estate partner furthered his vision. This island is worth about $200 million and now has some of the most beautiful beaches and breathtaking eco-resorts. The price of staying on this island starts from $3,500 per night, and it could get as high as $100,000. This island has been the honeymoon spot for celebs like Pippa Middleton and Beyoncé and Jay-Z. Calivigny Island. This island is one of the most expensive places to stay, and even celebrities have to think twice before going to Calivigny. This tropical paradise is owned by a French business tycoon, Georges Cohen. But he never intended on buying the island. He was actually cruising across this place on his private yacht with his wife. But his wife wanted to swim, and while crossing the island, she was amazed. She immediately fell in love with it, and upon her return, she got the news that this piece of heaven is actually on sale. So she immediately went to Georges and pushed him to buy this island. He agreed to visit it, but ended up buying it on the spot. The total worth of this island is in billions because Georges spent over $100 million in renovating this island. They brought in some of the most luxurious and exotic plants and trees. Besides, the villas on this island are beyond anything you probably have ever seen. But Calivigny isn't all about luxury, but also about privacy. There's not a single soul that could get into this island without proper inspection, and that's why a lot of mainstream celebrities go to Calivigny for their events. Even Kim Kardashian hosted a party here, and Justin Bieber also threw a massive rave in Calivigny when he turned 21. But it's not everyone's cup of tea to get a room here in this very exclusive island. The cost of staying on this island for only a single night could start from $132,000. It's a massive amount, but celebrities and other billionaires are willing to pay all that money just to get a few moments of calm without the paparazzi. Necker Island. This Caribbean heaven is owned by Sir Richard Branson, the billionaire known for owning multiple islands and dozens of luxury resorts. This island was actually sold for only $120,000, and Sir Richard saw a lot of potential in it, and he didn't even waste a second in buying it. Then, he built his own 11-bedroom house on the island, which is the epitome of luxury. He also built a lot of resorts around the entire island, and it's such an exclusive and posh piece of land that only millionaires or huge celebrities can afford it. People like Google CEO Larry Page, Barack Obama, and even Princess Diana have stayed on this island. Besides, Kate Moss also hosted her 40th birthday on the island, and it was all over the news. Not only this, Kate Middleton also enjoyed her vacations on the private island. If you ever plan on staying on this island, you would have to pay more than $113,000 for one night for about 40 people. But this island has seen some pretty bad days too. First, a fire broke out in Necker Island that destroyed a lot of resorts and the House of Branson in 2011. And when he finally rebuilt everything, Hurricane Irma came along in 2017, and Branson had to rebuild everything from scratch. But he was already earning big bucks, so he didn't mind spending a couple $1 million to get this island back on the list of the most luxurious getaways. Laucala Island. Laucala Island is a private resort, the biggest one in the whole world, and it has about 25 massive villas. It's considered the most posh location in the world, and even A-list celebrities couldn't afford staying in this island. Only one night on this island would cost you about $5,000, and it's exclusively available for only a bunch of people. The island was actually bought by Dietrich Mateschitz. The guy is loaded, and he doesn't shy away from spending money on luxury stuff, like a whole-ass private island. He's actually the co-founder of Red Bull, which is one of the biggest companies in the world. So why would he mind spending a couple of bucks? But in this case, he actually spent more than $27 billion on this island. Dietrich bought this place back in 2003, and right off the bat, he decided to turn it into a vacation resort where he and his friends could burn off some smoke and just relax for a couple of days every month. It took 5 years for Dietrich's plans to finally turn into reality, but in 2009, Laucala Island was finally open for very exclusive reservations. Even to this day, Dietrich himself visits this island once or twice a year and enjoys the serenity and calm of having his very own island. Each one of the villas in this island are meticulously designed, keeping the needs of visitors in mind. These villas resemble the classic look of Fiji villas, but in a much more bougie way. The villas are surrounded by palm trees and crystal clear water, and most of them have private indoor pools as well, which is probably the dream of every single real estate lover. Laucala doesn't just give ultra-luxury villas, but it's also the only private island that has a submarine to give the tourists a visit to the sea. Kauai Island. This private island in Hawaii is owned by the tech mogul Mark Zuckerberg. As you already know, Mark owns big companies like Facebook and Instagram, and he's one of the richest people on Earth. So, when he invested $100 million in Kauai Island, all eyes were on him. But no, he wasn't just planning on building resorts and getting profit off it. He actually built a very comfortable house and all amenities on the island. Although now it seems like Mark might be getting into the real estate business, because in 2021, he again bought a huge chunk of Kauai Island for $53 million, which makes him the owner of the majority of land. There's been a lot of controversy around this island, and a lot of cases have been filed against Mark from the native people of Kauai. They're arguing that they got this land from their forefathers, and now Mark is reportedly forcing them to sell all this land to them, so he could turn this island into a very exclusive private resort, where not even birds could fly without his permission. Even Zuckerberg filed a couple of cases against the native Kauaians, upon which he received a lot of backlash, as people accused him of land grabbing and snatching the rightful ownership of the Kauaians. But now that Zuckerberg owns the majority of this island, it has become a safe haven for him, and according to certain reports, he even spent the whole 2 years of lockdown in this island with his wife. Musha Cay Island. This private island is owned by the famous illusionist and businessman David Copperfield. He bought this island back in 2006, and it took him about 5 years to completely remodel the entire place. He initially spent around $50 million buying this island, and then he remodeled it with $40 million. He also continued to buy the land closer to the island, and now it has become a very sought-after destination in the world. People like Oprah Winfrey, Johnny Depp, and even Bill Gates have spent their vacations on this island. It has all the amenities and luxuries any billionaire would want, from an outdoor theatre to speedboats and private pools. You would have to pay over $50,000 to stay at Musha Cay resorts for one night, and not everyone can access the lovely beaches of this piece of heaven. It's an island exclusively designed for celebrities and other billionaires, and Copperfield also vacations here quite often with his friends and family. Lanai Island. Lanai Island is the most expensive island in the whole world, and it's as luxurious as it gets. Larry Ellison, the brain behind Oracle Corp, and one of the richest men in the whole world, bought this island for about $300 million. This purchase gave him access to about 98% of the island, and he built some of the biggest and bougiest resorts here. And Larry didn't just stop there. He also built a lot of money in overall maintenance and renovation of the entire island. Larry Ellison loves this island so much that he has moved there permanently since the pandemic hit. The massive villas look like castles, and you'll feel it's a scene right out of a Disney movie. Ellison is now trying to push the green narrative on the island and is turning it into a sustainable utopia. For people who can actually afford it, it's a place totally out of this world. You would only have to pay $21,000 per night, and not for a group, but for individuals. Ellison has also bought an airline of his own that could transport the passengers from other islands to Lanai. He has also inserted thousands of solar panels from Tesla throughout the island just to make sure that this island is actually sustainable and a place free from all bad vibes. It does come with hefty checks, but you get what you pay for. So which one of these super expensive islands shocked you the most? Tell us in the comments. Also make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for the latest updates. We'll see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thanks for watching.